Hey guys, so I'm going to actually show you how to set your hair for the headband curls. So you want to make sure that your hair is good and brushed, that there's no knots in it, because if there is, it's going to be harder to loop it around the headband. So you want to make sure that it's brushed really, really well. As well, you want it somewhat damp. I got a shower a couple hours ago and I just blow dried it a little bit to get the dampness. Like, you don't want it super wet because it will take a lot longer to dry. I do set my hair overnight and I find that gives a way better curl. I also tighten it a lot tighter than the video that I had posted. So yeah, so you got your hair and the trusty headband. You can get these headbands anywheres. This is a goodie headband. It has like grippies on it, so it stays in your hair a little bit better, but you can do this with any headband as long as it's stretchy. So you don't want to do it with something that's kind of tight. So there's two different ways that you can do it. You can put it on over your hair and then you're going to curl your hair this way. I like to tuck it under, so I'm gonna take my hair, because I also have an undercut in the back, so I don't have to worry too much about the back of my head. So I part it wherever I normally part my hair, and I'm gonna put the headband on my forehead and over my ears. So I like my curls to I like my front part to kind of go over my forehead, so I like to tuck under. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush my hair out and you push this back to the side and you're just going to lift the headband and loop your hair through so it looks like this. And then you're just going to keep going. And I tighten it a bit to make sure that my curls are going to be nice and tight. If you want to do it a little bit looser, it'll give you a looser curl, but I find the tighter you do it, or like, I'm not super tight, like it's just snug, I guess. And I do it that way so they'll last through the whole entire day. So you just keep looping, and then when you get to the end, this part is gonna loop around with the other part. So I'll do the other side. So you want to take a half decent section. The smaller the section, the tighter the curls will be for sure. So you just want to make sure that it's brushed and no knots. And tuck that behind your ear. So you're gonna lift the headband again. And then just tuck it under like that. And then I kind of push it to the front and then keep going. And I have pretty long hair. I have done this with my hair shorter and it turns out the same way. It definitely has to be long enough so you can tuck it around the headband a couple times. So yeah, so those are your first two rows. So I'm just gonna, I do it kind of in 6 sections, so 2 front pieces, 2 side pieces, and 2 back pieces. You can do it as many sections as you want. So I'm just gonna section off another section here, brush my hair again. And then push that behind you. And then I'm going to see where this is the front part. I'm gonna loop this part over that. So that kind of like covers that area. And then keep on going. And like I said, if you want your curls done the other way, you just have to loop it. Instead of going underneath, you can go over. And if you mess up a little bit, it's alright, because it'll work out in the end. So I'm just going to move this piece up a bit, and I'm going to do this side. Showing your brush. Especially your ends, you want to make sure your ends are nice and clean. That way it'll, the end, when you end up taking it out, the curls will not look nice and natural right down to the end. Okay, so those are the front pieces. I'm going to section off the back pieces now. Do a bit of brush. Try to move so you can see this. So again, you're going to take it, and the elastic, you can see it back here. You're just going to flip it under. You want to make sure that your other piece is not getting involved in it, because then it might look a little bit messy. And I kind of like push it so that you have more of the elastic to work with, the headband to work with. And then your end piece, you just want to make sure that it's tucked up like that. So, last piece now. Gonna brush it. And if you have any pieces like this, you want to make sure that you just want to tuck that under to make sure that the curl is not going to look funny on your ends. So you just tuck it under there. So last piece. So you don't have a lot of the headband left, but you do have places to work. So you're still going to be tucking it and then pulling it over. And it definitely takes practice. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. So like these last ends, you want to make sure that you tuck them under so it's curled right down to the end of the hair. So that's it. And then I kind of like push it up a bit so that you can have a little bit of volume at your roots. I'm also going to use just it's called a flexi hold. It just kind of helps the curls stay a bit. So I'm going to spray it. You can spray your hair first too if you want. And yeah, so, and if you see any pieces that are kind of not curling right, you can always like do an extra little tuck to get them a little bit tighter. And yeah, so there's the how to set it. And it's kind of a cute hairstyle at the same time. Sorry, I got some hair in my mouth. So yeah, it looks kind of cute. This little piece right here kind of didn't tuck under as much, so I'm just gonna give that a little bit more of a tuck. but, oh, where is it? There it is. Tuck that. I'm going to tuck right here a little bit more. And it's okay if you have like baby hairs and stuff that might not necessarily go into it. It'll all look fine once you take it out. So let's do a 180. Show you what it looks like in the back. So again, I have it undercut, so the back kind of is a little bit different than maybe yours will be. But that's how to set your curls for the morning. And I do sleep with this. I find it extremely comfortable. I don't have any issues. I sleep on my back, so it's not really a problem for me. And it's a lot more comfortable than wearing curlers in your hair overnight. So yeah, so you can go to bed with it on and wake up in the morning, and like my other video, you just take the headband and you shake it out, and then you just shake your hair out and you got ready-made curls. Thanks for watching.